Hey everybody, I'm Shaq.
I'm Harrison.
I love to cook.
And I love to eat.
Welcome to Cooked with Shaq. Welcome to Cooked with Shaq. I'm Shaq. He is Harrison. We are ready to cook.
We are ready. I missed you, man.
Yeah, it's been a little while since we've done an episode, so we're going to get back on track here.
I'm ready for it.
We've got some interesting stuff. It's a super easy recipe today. One thing I love is fusion cooking, where you take one kind of cuisine, you mix it with another kind of cuisine, and it just turns out good, right? I mean, there's so many different things that we share around the world when it comes to food. Like, for instance, every country has a dumpling of some sort.
True.
Right? We have pierogies.
Yes.
Well, Poland and Russia and Ukraine, they all have pierogies, varenika.
Yeah.
Italians have ravioli.
Right.
You know, there's all kinds of different things. Empanadas down in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
So that type of thing. So I love the fusion cooking, where we can take one culture, mix it with another culture, and we have a little party, right? A little folk fest of our own.
Yes.
Sure. So what we're going to do today is a Mexican lasagna.
Whoa! Woo-hoo! Mexican, baby!
Mexican lasagna. Now, this is how I'm going to do it. It's my take on that Mexican lasagna.
Okay.
So basically, when you're making a lasagna, you have to have some ground meat, usually beef or pork or whatever it is. And then you have to have some kind of a tomato-based sauce. And you'll have some herbs in there. You'll have Italian, oregano and basil and all that stuff.
Yes.
And of course, you have the cheese. You can put spinach in there, all that stuff. Oh, it's mozzarella, all that stuff. But what now we're going to do, and what you would use usually, is lasagna noodles.
Right?
Not today.
Not today.
We're doing a Mexican lasagna. So instead of lasagna noodles, we're using tortillas. Because really, when you think about it, what is a tortilla? It's flour and water.
Right.
And maybe an egg.
What is
a noodle? It's flour and an egg. Maybe a little water.
Okay.
Same thing, just cooked differently, right?
All right.
So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to use that instead of noodles.
Sounds like
we're going to use a nice mix of pork and beef. So you get a lean pork, a lean beef. So we're going to do a pound of each. And the reason why I do that is because it just has a nice flavor. It kind of balances out a little bit of fat with the pork, and you get the balance of the beef. Now, you could use different kinds of tomato-based sauces when it comes to Mexican cooking. But what we're going to do, being that it's an Italian-Mexican mix, we're still going to use a pasta sauce that's Italian. But don't get the one, this is out of a can. I'm not, look.
Whoa,
look.
Whoa, what did you just say?
Look.
What?
I mean, we can sit here for days, and we can take the seeds out of the tomatoes, and we can peel the tomatoes, and we can stick them in the blender, and we can blend it, and we can put this and let it sit in the pot on the stove for 17 days.
Kind of sounds like fun.
Okay. Or you could just go to the grocery store, get a couple of cans of tomato sauce.
All right, we're not judging over here.
So this is what we're doing.
Okay.
We got a couple of cans of tomato sauce, but what I am saying is that don't over-herb your tomato sauce with Italian herbs, because you want it still Mexican. So what I got was like just a 4-cheese pasta sauce. Simple. 2 cans of jars of 4-cheese pasta sauce. What we are going to do is we're going to put Tex-Mex cheese in there. So it's got a little bit of heat, a little bit of heat.
Okay.
We're also going to be using enchilada sauce with this as well. We are going to be putting cottage cheese in because I like cottage cheese. I'm going to show you a trick on cottage cheese a little bit later too as well. So now let's just get things rolling. We got a nice our vessel, our lasagna vessel ready to go. So I've already browned up some ground pork and beef. So what we're going to do with that is we're going to add a little bit of garlic, just a little bit of garlic.
Just a tiny little bit.
All in there. Get it all in there nice. every last drop. Then what we're gonna do is very simple. This is a totally simple recipe. You're gonna take the sauce and dump it in.
That's it?
That's it.
Wow.
You've got your 4-cheese pasta sauce. What we're gonna do is let this heat up, and then we're gonna get to building this lasagna, this Mexican lasagna on Cooked with Shaq. Thanks for joining us.
Sponsored by Sask Pork. Saskatchewan's pork producers are committed to sustainable production of safe, healthy pork for you and your family. For recipes and more, visit saskpork.com and follow us on Twitter and Facebook.
We're back. Cooked with Shaq. We are doing some fusion cooking today. And the reason why we're doing this recipe, by the way, we had a longtime viewer. She's been watching for 10 years because we've been doing this show for 10 years. Her name is Lisa. And she just messaged me the other day and said, remember years ago you did that lasagna, that was Mexican lasagna? Can we get that recipe again? I thought, you know what, we haven't done it for a long time, so that's why we're doing it today. That's for you, Lisa. It's all for you.
Bringing the classics back.
You betcha. Just showing you a little bit of twist here and there on what we're doing. So we're doing a Mexican lasagna, which basically what we've done is we've got a pound of beef and a pound of pork. It's all browned up, and we've added just a regular pasta sauce. Now, someone in the studio here today, or the studio being my kitchen, I noticed that the cheese might be looking a little funny. Well, I'm telling you right now, it's not mold on the cheese. Are you sure? It is not. I just bought the cheese today. It's not mold. This is a Tex-Mex mix. And in the Tex-Mex mix, they have little pieces of peppers. Right? So that's a little pepper.
Tex-Mex mix 5 times real fast.
Tex-Mex mix, 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 mix.
Yeah, close enough.
That's about it. That's all I got. That's all I got. So anyway, we have the Tex-Mex cheese mix. Wow, that is good, hey?
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you a little trick here because a lot of times you'll use some kind of like a curd cheese or something in your lasagna. Italian cheeses sometimes. I use cottage cheese in every lasagna. But here's the thing. Sometimes you can't find dry cottage cheese. Now, dry cottage cheese obviously is just the cheese curd without any kind of sauce or any kind of moisture in there. And I like to use that because what happens if you use regular cottage cheese with the saucy stuff in it, it makes the lasagna kind of runny, right?
Okay.
So I'm going to show you a trick on how you can make this stuff into dry cottage cheese. What? Come to the sink with me, please. All right, so here we are at the sink. So this is what we're doing. We're basically turning regular cottage cheese that has all the, I don't know what you call that. I guess it would be the whey. Is that what you call it? Whey or something?
I have no clue.
Curds and whey.
I don't know what we're doing right
Anyhow, it's all kind of goopy. Let's just call it goopy. So
it's goopy.
What we're going to do is we're just going to take this big container of cottage cheese.
Okay.
Now, see, if we put that into the lasagna, it will get all kind of runny, and you'd have to let it set up, but I like the dry cottage cheese. So this basically what we're doing now. You take some cold water. This is it, what you're doing. Cold water. I need some splish splashing.
Splish splashing?
Splish splashing. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do a little splish splashing. And there, we're done. See, look at that. See that? Now you just let the excess water drain out of there, and you have dry cottage cheese.
You had to wash it, and now it's dry.
Isn't that a weird thing? How does that work?
What?
You have to add water to make it dry.
I'm so confused right now.
Me too. But it works.
It works.
Okay, so this is what it is. Pop that in. Meet me back at the kitchen. All right, so our dry cottage cheese ready to go. We got our Tex-Mex Tex-Mex cheese. A lot of cheese.
No mold.
No mold. No, these, look, I'm telling you right now, don't get yourself in a twist.
I believe you.
Because if you look at it, it's a little piece of pepper that's in there, and it's fine.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. We're good. Okay. So now we've got our mix, our pork and beef mixture, and our pasta sauce. We're going to add a little bit of heat to it. Okay. We can't not have something of a Mexican type of dish without having a little heat in it. So we're going to just heat that up a bit. Now we start to build. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of enchilada sauce.
Okay.
And we're going to use it as glue. So we're going to just put a little bit of enchilada sauce in the bottom of the baking pan.
So instead of greasing it,
yeah,
put that in there
you
instead.
enchilada it.
Yeah. Okay.
So now you're going to take your tortillas, which are just regular old tortillas, flour tortillas. You can use corn too if you like corn tortillas.
And
you can
the
do that.
smaller ones, right? Kind of fit
Well,
in there nicely.
it all depends on what size of vessel you're using.
Okay.
So this is kind of a smaller one, medium size. But if you got one of these great big honking ones, you can get the bigger.
All right.
Bigger ones.
Okay.
So you take up more territory, right?
Yeah.
So then you're going to put another one in there, and they fit just perfect. So now we start with the building. So I'm going to just move this here.
Gotta layer this baby.
And then we're going to do this. So we're going to layer it up. A couple of big old spoonfuls of that. And now you get it all in the corners. Get it all nice and looking good.
Okay.
In the corners. And I made a mess already.
Yep.
But you know what? Hey, that's just the way it is.
By the time we're done, there'll be cheese flowing all around the edges.
Exactly.
It'll be.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so now what you want to do, this is where the cottage cheese comes in. So before anything falls on the floor, we want to make sure that we got this. So I'm just going to take a spoon real quick, and we're going to take a little bit of cottage cheese, and we're just going to sprinkle it around. Okay, so we're going to do that.
All right.
Cottage cheese over there. Okay, cottage cheese over there. Okay. Now, hold the phone. Now we're going to start adding the Tex-Mex cheese. I'm going to put a little of that in there. Just a thin kind of layer because we're going to really add it up a little bit later on.
All right.
Okay, so there we got that. Now, why not? A little bit more enchilada sauce.
Right?
Sure, let's do that just to give it a little shot.
Okay.
Another layer of.
So how many layers are we going to?
I have no idea. We're just going to keep on layering until the layering is done.
All right.
Until we've run out of ingredients. We may have to go into another pan because we've got a lot. All right, so now we're going to do the same thing. Take your mix and do that.
Reminds me of like the sloppy joes
Oh.
with this, hey? Yeah, that's.
And we're going to do that. We're going to spread it out like this. And do that. Oh, look at this, eh? And then we're going to do that.
So good.
Put that back. Now we're going to do another layer of cottage cheese. Remember the dry cottage cheese?
Yeah. It's
Do
dry.
that. It's dry, all right.
I can see what you're saying
See
now.
what I mean?
Now that you're layering it, I can see why.
If it was
you
wet,
had to dry it out. It makes sense.
would make
Yeah.
everything all sloppy.
Yeah, it's like a mushy.
Exactly. You don't want mushy. You don't want mushy. Then you can spread that out a little bit like that.
Okay.
Okay. Now, we're going to take another layer.
Yes. I was going to suggest.
Oh,
that
yeah, we
need
got to do
like-
that. Yeah. Oh, why not? Let's do another little layer of that.
Okay.
A final layer goes on top.
Yeah.
Just like that. One more
Man.
shot of this.
I'm getting hungry watching these layers just stack and
Now,
stack up.
This one I want to spread around a little bit so it's
wanna get
all
fancy
kind of
now.
even here. Hey, look at that. Hey.
All right.
Now, so that's done. Now you finish it up. You finish it up. You know what? We're going all in.
Yeah. Just.
All
Throw
in,
it all in.
baby.
Yeah.
Massage that cheese down into the nooks and crannies. And do that. And do this. Look at that.
Perfectly fit, man. Yeah.
There it
Like,
is.
that's
You know,
it?
and you know what's funny?
Wow.
You could eat that right now.
Well,
just the way it is.
Well, let's just eat it right now then.
No.
Okay.
No, we're going to cook it. Because what do you want?
How long are you going to make me wait?
You want ooey, gooey cheesiness, right?
All right.
So we're going to at least cook this. We're going to go for a half an hour on this. In the oven, 350. Hang steady, buddy. We'll be back, and this will be ready to go. And plus, I also have a little trick. If you run out of hard shell tacos, I'll show you how to do hard shell tacos. Ooh. Uncooked with Shaq.
Sponsored by Sask Pork. Saskatchewan's pork producers are committed to sustainable production of safe, healthy pork for you and your family. For recipes and more, visit saskpork.com and follow us on Twitter and Facebook.
It's time for
Shaq's hack.
This is what we're going to do. Hard shell tacos. Hey, you know what? You're going through your pantry and go, I would love to have tacos today. And you run into the problem that you don't have hard shell tacos. But you have soft shell tacos, which are just as good. But some people like the hard shell. Well, this is a very easy Shaq hack. Here we go. You take a tortilla. You find yourself a spoon. You take a little bit of oil, canola oil. You rub it around. You flip it over. Little canola oil. You rub it around. Grab yourself a copper pipe, preferably the 1-inchers.
Whoa.
And then you wrap it with tin foil. Simple. You have a cookie sheet, pizza pan, whatever it is. Put a little parchment paper. Take your tortilla, you wrap it over that. 350 in the oven, 15 minutes, and you've got something that looks like this. A hard shell taco. This has been
Shaq's hack.
Sponsored by Sask Pork. Saskatchewan's pork producers are committed to sustainable production of safe, healthy pork for you and your family. For recipes and more, visit saskpork.com and follow us on Twitter and Facebook.
little Spanish music for us, Harrison. Little Spanish music. Here we go. Woo-hoo, baby! Take a look at this. Take a look at this, my friend. Welcome back to Cook with Shaq. Take a look at this. Right out of the oven, piping hot. That is the Mexican lasagna that we've been making today. It's a fusion between Italian lasagna and Mexican. Now, what we have we used is, instead of noodles, we used the tortilla shells. We've used a little bit of enchilada sauce. We've had some hot sauce in there. We used regular Italian tomato sauce for the saucy. We showed you how to make dry cottage cheese with water.
Yeah.
Isn't that mind-blowing? Wow. Anyhow, it's all in there. It's all ready to go. We're going to cut this up. And before we do that, though, some little condiment that I like to put on this particular lasagna. I like to make mayo, but I want smoked chipotle mayo.
Oh,
now,
fancy.
Chipotle peppers are actually smoked jalapenos in an adobo sauce. Okay, so we're not going to do that because we don't have either. So I'm going to fake it. This might be another hack.
Okay.
Anyhow, we're going to take some mayo, right? We're going to take some hot sauce. Hot sauce in the mayo. Liquid smoke. Don't worry, there's no chemicals in this. Please, please. You know what the ingredients say? Here's the ingredients. Water.
Smoke.
Smoke. That's it. That's all it is.
That's it.
Okay? So, but whatever you do, it is very, very potent. Okay. You only need, for something like this amount of mayonnaise, you only need this much. 1, 2, 3 drops. That's it.
That's it?
That's all you need, or else what happens if you put too much in, it gets kind of bitter tasting.
All right.
All right, so now we have our fake chipotle sauce, chipotle mayo. But I'll tell you, you wouldn't ever know the difference. Okay, that's ready to go. This is always a problem. The first piece always looks terrible.
That's
But
okay.
you know what?
I'll take it.
This is what we do around here. We're not pretty. Just look at us. Really? Okay, we're going to just pull the first one out and see what happens. So, we're going to make this one. We'll make it big enough that we can actually get... Oh, look at that, eh? Look at that cheese.
Wow.
Look at that cheese.
Extra cheese.
That we can actually get our flipper in there.
Oh, boy.
Oh, see, the cheese is just sinking
Yep.
into the abyss of goodness. Okay. Okay, which way am I going? I'm going that way, I'm going to go this way. I'm going to go this way, I'm going to go this way. Okay, so we're good?
I think so. Here we go.
Here comes.
Da-da-da!
Yeah. Down, in, over, up, over, in.
Oh.
We're going to lose her. We're going to lose her, Captain. Oh, we lost her, Captain. But that's okay, because we're going to do this, and we're going to flip it over. The first one just never works out. It never does. But I'll tell you what, that is a vision.
I bet it's good.
That's a vision. So now what we're going to do, take a little more enchilada sauce.
Yeah.
And we're just going to drizzle a little bit over here like that. And we're going to take some of this fancy chipotle mayo, and we're going to go like this. We're going to put a little bit right there. And watch this. I'm gonna do a fancy chef thing and go zip.
Whoa. Whoa.
There it is. Collapsed but beautiful.
Yeah.
That is Mexican lasagna. Mm-hmm. This has been Cooked with Shaq. Harrison and I are about to eat. Mm-hmm. You guys too, our camera guys, you can eat too if you want. Is that okay?
Guess I can.
Okay.
I guess so.
Thanks for joining us. Cooked with Shaq. We'll see you next time.
Sponsored by Sask Pork. Saskatchewan's pork producers are committed to sustainable production of safe, healthy pork for you and your family. For recipes and more, visit saskpork.com and follow us on Twitter and Facebook.